It is Monday, June 16th, 2024. I'm going to call to order the Freetown Board of Selectmen meeting. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and will be available on our town's YouTube page. Agenda, I'm going to roll into a couple of quick items here. Agenda item number 1 is approve weekly warrants, agenda 29 through 53. So everything looked good to me. So with that, you have any?
No objections.
All right, so with that, I entertain a motion to approve weekly warrants 29 through 53.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 2, discussion and vote whether to approve the open session minutes from 11/18/2024 and 11/25/2024. Also read through those, didn't see any issues.
Likewise.
All right. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the open session minutes for 11/18/2024 and 11/25/2024.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So agenda item number 3, presentation from Chief Rose on the internship program at the police department. So Chief Rose.
Good evening, everyone. Noticing that tonight's meeting is jam-packed. There's over 30 items listed here. I don't want to bore you to death with my student internship program, but after speaking to the town administrator, she wanted to take the time and educate the new selectmen about this program that's been going on for well over 10 years. So, Deb, did you happen to pass along the policies and procedures to these gentlemen before?
For the internship?
Yes.
I don't think so.
There's a lot of detailed information in this packet that I have created for you folks.
Mhm.
This is for Jared. This
Thank
is the
you.
same package I sent you before. But the police department has found, well over 10 years ago, that college students were looking for an opportunity to enhance their college experience and look for internships. And the department found that we always like to try to assist our local kids with some type of program or education. And we started off pretty brief and to comply with the college requirements. And normally there was an application and some requirement of hours by the college. And sometimes the students had to create a final paper just to justify their needs for the program. So as things developed and we found out that it affected our accreditation standard here at the police department, we had to incorporate them, embrace them into our police department by complying with all the accreditation standards. It became more involved. Chief Abbott at the time created these policies that I'm presenting to you folks here tonight, of a student internship program as well as a ride-along program. And what that does is, again, it formalizes these students to come into our department, gives them complete guidelines on the expectations of the program. The safety factors are all placed within the forms that we have created and within the policy. They have to comply with a uniform policy. They get an ID card. They do have restricted access here to the police department. But however, what they end up doing is providing a service to the police department by completing some functions that are needed. Plus, they get an education at the same time on the operations here at the department. So, for example, they'll have an opportunity to sit with a detective, the lieutenant, the patrolman, the dispatch. They will oversee the E911 system. They will, if possible, they have an opportunity to watch the video surveillance of an officer booking someone through the video surveillance system. Whatever we can provide to them to educate them in our system, it's a two-way street. They learn our operations, but we're hoping to attract some of these young students to our department. We have found here at the department, it's been a very successful program. I've not heard of one complaint regarding the program. The only complaint that I take that back. The only complaint that I have heard is, in our policy, we allow only one intern per semester. And those semesters are spring, summer, and the fall. We just can't handle 3, 4 students here at the department. There is a lot of impact here on the personnel. There is no cost to the police department, no cost to the town. And again, we get somewhat of a free service by these kids doing some routine work. knowing this is fairly new to you board members and the town administrator, we do have it posted on our website. So it does attract those kids for knowledge if they're interested in a program here at our department. And of course, we also like to take the time and recognize those individuals through our social media. So you'll see that on our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So again, I'm here to report that the documentation that I provided you here today, again, please, if you have some time, go through it, read what we provide to the students. The applications, all the standard forms that they're required to sign off on, whether it's confidentiality, the rules that are applied to them while they're working here, their uniform that they're required to wear to show that professional image to the public, because you never know when these individuals are going to operate within the public setting. So I'm not going to tie you up any more than that. If you have any other questions regarding the student internship program, please take the time and reach out to me. I'm hoping for your continued support with it. Currently, we do not have an intern lined up for this next semester. You might know that one of my family members had applied. She had an opportunity to work in the State House, so I got bumped off. So State House, Freetown Police Department, she chose the
wrong one is what you're saying?
but I was looking to put her to work, so
We can call her if you want.
Yeah.
See if you can change her mind for you.
Yeah, no. He's like, yeah, good luck.
the last thing I've mentioned is to date we had, just looking at our past records, over 15 documented student interns here at the department. And those are the ones that we documented. There was ones years prior to that we just, again, we weren't formalized yet. We would just help out the college students to get them their credits for their degree and march on. But once accreditation kicked in, things changed. We have to comply with all those standards and stuff. But hopefully that was informative.
It was.
It was. Thank you, sir.
And for the people that are out there, you have college students that need that opportunity. All you have to do is submit an application and we'll take it from there. Okay,
Thanks, Chief.
Very good.
welcome.
Thank you. I
Any
appreciate it.
questions?
Oh, the only one that comes to mind, you have 15 documented interns. Any of them work here now?
Yes, actually, Lieutenant Levesque, he reminded me, he was like one of the first students to apply here. So I forgot all about it. And matter of fact, I didn't even handle it because I was only a patrolman at the time. So, yeah, matter of fact, I'm thinking of another one was Lisa Podolsky's daughter. She worked here, and I think she had an opportunity for a little bit for an internship program, and then she's marched on. So yeah, people have come and gone. I always love to hear success stories. Recently, we had a town resident that completed an internship program here. She's working on towards her master's degree. She recently reached out to me looking for another internship program, not here, just people who I know out in the law enforcement world. And of course, I pointed her in several directions. But we mainly like to focus on our town residents and town residents that are going to college, but we have taken other students that live outside of our community. So,
Thanks,
that's been
Chief.
very good.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Again, positive program. It's tremendous. We love having the kids here and like to keep pushing it forward.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Chief. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So, all right, so we'll move on to agenda item number 4, discussion and vote on donation to the food pantry.
All right.
So obviously, there was some talk about a lot of the good folks that are in here tonight and the need for, donations in order to help the continued success. So, we thought that it was a good use to the money, to really take money that's been given to the town on behalf of, different organizations and whatever. And we've got different, so we have this money that I really can't think of a better use to use it for. So it has all my love and support behind it to, be able to present these fine folks with some well-deserved funds.
Yeah.
So
Well, I agree. You know, I think about some of the conversations we had over the years regarding Freetown, right? That, in fact, some of the town members had to go out and pay for their own electricity bills for the town lights that they had in their streets, right? We just had this conversation. And after many years, we finally just took that money off their books, and now we're paying for it again. So it feels really good, really, really good to be able to give back to a community, right? That supports each other. And the food pantry does just that. Yeah, there's some unsung heroes out there, and the people that work walking out those doors are some of those unsung heroes. I don't use that word lightly, but that's what that is. You guys take time out of your daily lives and give back to the people that need your help and love, and right, or just, maybe just a conversation for that day. Thank you for all that you do. It means a lot to us and to the community, and you know, it takes a lot for us to check the box when it comes to receiving and giving away. And this not only check the box, it also makes me proud to be a town resident. All right. Thank you for the food pantry and to everybody else.
Yeah, very well said. So, so obviously with that, I will entertain a motion to make a donation to the Freetown Regional Food Pantry.
Yes.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Yeah. Sorry. I
Aye.
got caught up.
So, agenda item number 5 is recognition to the local food pantry volunteers and presentation. But before that, I would like to read a little something to you guys. Tonight, we would like to recognize a local resource that has been instrumental in helping many families throughout our region, the Freetown Regional Food Pantry. The Freetown Regional Food Pantry started in Trailers in the elementary school nearly 5 years ago. Today, they currently serve approximately 175 families per week from 15 different communities. This past Thanksgiving, the Freetown Regional Food Pantry donated approximately 200 turkeys to families in need. We want to take this opportunity to not only thank the food pantry, but more importantly, the volunteers who make up the Freetown Regional Food Pantry. Without them, the food would not be on the shelves to help those local families. On behalf of the Board of Selectmen, I would like to thank the following volunteers for their time and dedication on to the local food pantry. When I call your name, can you please do me a favor and stand up? If I butcher your name, I truly do apologize. Barbara Quintel.
Oh.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jean Andrews. Thank you. Beverly Sadik. Thank you. Lou McMahon. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judy Chubbuck.
She couldn't be here.
Oh, she couldn't. Well, thank you, Judy. Maria Holyak. Thank you.
Did you get that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very
Good for
good.
you.
I better know how to say that.
My head was struggling with that one. Thank you, Judy. I'm Maria. Sorry.
Paul's not here.
Paul had to take his daughter somewhere.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So thank you, Paul. Paul Flint. Thank you. Tony Costi. Thank you. Louisa
Go ahead.
Montecavallo.
Monte Calvo. I did it. right.
Montecavallo. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I told you I was going to hack some names. Thank you again. Corinne LaMonica.
I do.
Pat Moriarty.
Pat got tied up at work.
All right. Thank you, Pat. I don't see Chad. So, Craig and Diane Cabral, you guys are getting lumped together. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Back.
Missed Ed
So-
Holloway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ed. Oh, yeah.
He's
I
the founding member from the
Yes.
schoolyard days.
Schoolyard days, yeah.
I apologize. I'm so sorry.
You guys do.
Also, thank you.
No, we do the easy part. I want to thank the following volunteers who couldn't be here: Kevin and Linda Tetrault, Debbie Dion, Paul Ferrero, Bob and Sharon Ross, Kathy Garganta, thank you, John and Cheryl Gouveia, Peter Borges, and Peter also does a lot of other things, right? They do a lot of the trash pickup and different things in there. So I just, I would like to make a note of that. So I believe, Craig, you might have had something you would like to say before anything else? Thank you.
Sit down, I can't stand up like Scott. So obviously you've named all the volunteers, but for local businesses in the town who have been extremely instrumental in helping us that I really need to give credit for. The first one would be Cape Cod Aggregate. They've given us X amount of money, unbelievably, and they actually donated a skid steer to us to help us for unloading the trucks when we had nothing. We were unloading the stuff by hands. Big Wheels Truck Sales. Anything we need as far as our truck being, if our truck is down and when we have stuff to go get, Big Wheels Trucks, they'll give us a truck to use. They donate money to us. So Big Wheels Truck Sale is phenomenal to us. They do a lot. Preferred Concrete, another local business, actually gave us money to help us when we were getting started. They paid our insurances for us when we first started off. Excel Recycling. Initially, the first truck that we got, we had to do everything by hand. So Excel paid to have the hydraulic tailgate put on our truck, for bringing the pallets up and down. I know you said Peter Borges, but Peter Borges not only, he's there on Sunday mornings helping us unload the truck, and he is also, his other donation is 5 years worth of trash. He's paid for everything. He hauls all the trash away. Never charges a dime. So he's real instrumental. The other one is KMAD, Chad Cavallo. Everybody knows he's really instrumental in raising money for us. Chad actually raised money and got us our second truck and donated the second truck to the pantry for getting stuff. Pat Moriarty, who's on the board here, he owns Ocean Spray Seafoods, and he's actually donates, I'm talking thousands of pounds of fresh codfish to the food pantry for the people. He has a package for us and everything. So he's very instrumental and does a lot for us also. And I realize that everyone sees the basics that go on as far as all these volunteers here who stock the shelves, but some of the other things that the people don't see is you don't realize, but Stop and Shop, they'll have, it can be 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, and they'll have a truck with 2 extra pallets of blueberries or chicken or things. They'll call me, and we got to go get Tony out of bed, Lou out of bed, all gonna go there, just like volunteer firemen, go get the truck, go to Stop and Shop, unload this stuff at 11 o'clock at night. Jared, you were there too. Amazon, we drive to Chelsea, get ice cream and everything. Out here, 10 below zero, unloading ice cream and frozen foods. Jared was there helping us. So there's a lot that goes on with this. I realize that everybody may know my name, and naturally they associate me automatically with the food pantry, call Craig, but really, as far as I'm concerned, I'm really only the logistics person. These are the key people right here. I may help in getting the distribution in and acquiring all the stuff and as to how big we got, but these are the true people of the food pantry, not me. They're the people we have to be thankful for. They put in sometimes 20 hours a week for free. And the other thing I'm proud to say, here we are 5 years into this, and every single person here has volunteered their time. No one here has got 1 cent. We're a very unique food pantry. No one gets paid at all. They actually pay in themselves. So every week we have a raffle. They have a thing where we're going to decide, we all, we're a kiddie, a pool, whatever you want to call it. We all bet, we chip in $1 on Mondays and say, how many people do you think we're going to have? And we see who gets closest. Tuesday, the same thing, put another $1 in. And in all the time we've done this, no one takes the winnings. No one takes the winnings. they use the money for their own Christmas party. So
It's a good idea.
they're I can't say enough. They're a fantastic group of people. So I don't know what more I can say. And we appreciate what you guys have given to us. And the reason why we need it is because we've expanded so much further now. It's unbelievable. So now we get, not only Amazon here in Fall River, we go to Amazon Norwood, Amazon Canton, Millboro, Plymouth. We're at Ocean State Job Lot every Wednesday in Kingston, Rhode Island. We've partnered up with the Veterans Association in Fall River because they're not able to get all the stuff that they need. So what they do is they order surplus. We go to the Boston Food Bank and get it for them, and they give it to us. And when we have abundance from Stop and Shop, we give it to the Veterans Association, Fall River, New Bedford. So it really is quite an operation, and that's pretty much the gist of it. And again, I can't thank all of these people enough because they're the true heroes here.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, it means a lot.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Quick question. Who's the unofficial winner over the years of the potluck? Unofficial. Doesn't have to be written down anywhere. All are just, in case anybody's keeping tabs, I want to make sure you have the opportunity to say to everybody.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
It really does, ring true what you guys talk about. I don't want to keep circling back, but 175 families per week in town is amazing. And we keep saying it, but you don't hear it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now comes the fun part because, we get to make a presentation to you of the checks. So we'll have a check for you from the town of Freetown, but also, I spoke with the owners of Junior's, a local gas station in town. They knew that you filled up your truck, right? With talking with Craig, one of the things they said is, what's the driving force to really having to keep enough money to keep afloat? And he said, there's a lot of different things, but one of them is fuel because of what he just talked about, right? With how far you guys are having to drive to get stuff, where before a lot of it initially was coming from Stop and Shop, and Stop and Shop was dropping trailers, and now, you're going literally all over the place. So Junior's also made a very sizable donation to you. So I just did want to call them out for that because I'm honored that this is another local business that, we just heard it from Craig with his list of all these places. It's all local that's helping support local, and it makes you feel good about the town you live in. So, I just did really want to call out Juniors and say thank you to them.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
This is a check here for you. Craig,
Yeah,
if
so
you wanna
the-
take it back.
You can give it to Lou, he's the treasurer.
all right. So we'll have it.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Why not? Can I go to Jersey?
Double or nothing, right? Next I want to, this one kind of hits me because I did talk to someone I know, Mark Tisdale, and, I was asking him if he could think of any different people that we could reach out to in order to try and get some donations. And, Mark is over there. He's, the president of Free Lake Youth Softball. And on the side of him, we have James Taylor, who's one of the board members. I don't want to steal any more thunder from that. I want to let Mark and Jimmy take it over from here.
So much thunder coming.
First and foremost, again, my name is Mark Tisdale. I'm the president of Free Lake Softball. With me, Jimmy Taylor. He's on the board.
Fire and rain?
Is that?
I've seen fire
Yes.
and rain.
That's why I go by JT. So that's all- we all call him JT. First of all, the big thank you to Craig and the team here. I mean, we're not just a part of our life where we work our jobs and we don't see this part, right? And I didn't even know how big of an operation this is. I'm very proud to be living in the town I'm living in right now. I'm very proud of this organization. Thank you very much.
Can we do another round of applause?
You guys can clap for yourselves. Beautiful thing that you got to do. Thank you very much. I mean, this is awesome, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jared, for reaching out to us for any ideas of. He asked me if I knew any businesses or groups, and being the president of Free Lake Softball, we were literally having a text chain because we were thinking about giving back to our communities. Literally, when he reached out to us, and I'm like, perfect. This is ideal. So we're very proud to give you this check and being in a position where we can do this. Should I give it to you or to?
You can give it to Lou. He's the guy.
Lou, right?
Lou, right?
Treasurer?
Just gotta turn in your passport.
Thank you very
So-
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to the softball. And JT didn't say it, but he was 81 this year for the Mighty Mites.
Yes. So, what you guys are doing is very important. Mark, Freetown, we started with the Freetown side of things for Free Lake Youth Softball. I was the Lakeville representative. Clearly, I'm in your house. Right? Some of the best leaders are in Freetown. But we as an organization we came together as a board, grew the numbers, and it's been a beautiful thing. We went from
40 people.
40 athletes to just under 140 at one point last season.
Wow.
Right? So it's larger than the game of softball. It's giving back to the community, right? So what you guys do, we can't thank you enough for each and everything that you guys do. I work in a career, and Mark works in a career where we do, part of our role is to give back to the community, local government and state government as well. And we value you guys. We see you. My staff has been busy with the turkey donations and the toy drives right now. So we thank you and we recognize all the hard work and dedication that it takes to make things happen behind the scenes. And oftentimes you don't get the acknowledgement that you deserve, but we thank you and we see you. So we are truly blessed to be in this position. You're making a difference in so many lives, right? We teach our athletes to learn, focus, and apply what they learn. But not only do we teach them to be good athletes and good teammates, we teach them to be good members of the community and hopefully one day productive members of society. So thank you very much. You guys are all role models, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Judy,
Thank you.
Thank you.
does anyone want to take any pictures or anything before we continue on? Do you guys want to take pictures? We do a
I'd
picture.
love to take a picture of the whole team here. Sure.
Oh my God.
We'll put it on our Facebook page and market it for everybody. And please use us if you need any marketing for.
Yeah. Yeah, come on up and maybe stand in front of here. I don't know where you want us. Maybe we can get some photos.
Why don't we just stay here with you guys?
All right.
If you want.
Push together. Push
You guys
together.
wanna-
Yeah, both of us, my picture taken.
Well, yeah, what they should do is like,
Oh, you know what?
Taking credit for it now.
You guys tuck in and we'll stand behind you.
that's it.
There you
Come on.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, have them sitting and standing, yeah.
Yeah, Bob. Put them on the table.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be the only one. You guys gonna come?
Oh, get in there, guys.
Barbara, I've seen it in the post office. Number across the
I seen it on a milk bottle.
Move down just a little bit. Get a couple more people in.
Lola, what do you think? This is not my camera. Oh,
You want to get yours?
no, that's fine. I think I did good. I'm blind, so I have no. Oh!
You did that to make everybody laugh.
Third one's the charm. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While we're standing here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks again. Thank you.
So I'm not.
No, this is the one for doing this.
Crazy one.
Thank you so much.
Mark, send it to the. Thank you, gentlemen. That was so nice. Looks good.
Oh, you grab, he'll bring it to me.
Yes.
Wait,
Hey, buddy, thank you.
I'm in no rush. I can wait.
Gotta turn in the passport for the next 24 hours.
TSA said I'm okay.
Thank you so much.
Now you can get it. Get it.
Okay. Thank you.
He's gonna give it to you.
How are you?
Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Down at the town.
Yes.
I'm sure.
I'm sure that bill's coming in.
I'll let you know.
All right. So that was all the fun stuff.
I know.
Well, not so fast. Number 6 is pretty fun. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm only teasing. It was a joke. I apologize.
no.
She got a little closer. All right. So moving on. Agenda item number 6, discussion and vote on whether to approve the request for the utilizing town roads for the Patriot Half Marathon on 6/14/2025 and the Cranberry Tri-Fest on 8/24/2025. I looked through it. It looks like everything starts at Cathedral Camp and then kind of circles through and then ends up back there. We have all the sign-offs. Are you here on behalf of that?
Me,
sir?
yes,
Yes. All right. Can you just state your name? And,
Sure. Anything else besides the name or just name?
No, you can just say your name. What organization?
Jeff Smith with Outsider Endurance.
Okay. So basically, it looks like everything's already been signed off. You have everything in place. So I really don't have any.
All this is great. Utilizing our towns, right? So nice windy road. First one's where Cathedral Camp, 7
Yeah.
a.m. start, 7:30 to 1 p.m. running, and then the other one, the Tri-Fest at Ted Williams Camp.
Mhm.
All right. So all right, let me ask you the question: is there a winner that comes back every single year? Everyone tries
Yeah.
to
So actually, it's there's a little bit of a typo in there. It's the Patriot Half. It's a triathlon and aqua bike. So it's the half marathon run does utilize Freetown, Acushnet, Rochester roads, but everything starts at Cathedral Camp for the Patriot Half. That one was actually just featured on a list of ranking all of the 70.3 half distance triathlons as a top one in the entire country. So it's a really big deal. And this one brings not only, but with the Boston region, we have superior triathlon endurance elite athletes in the region that absolutely come back. Some of them were featured at Kona, which is the Ironman World Championships this year. So there's such a high level of athlete that shows up. Even the average age groupers that come out there, this race can take them anywhere from 5.5 to 7.5, 8 hours. So it's an all day celebration of fitness for them that we actually would love to see more town celebration of it and invite anybody who wants to come down to Cathedral Camp for that one. The second one is the one in Freetown. The Patriot does have athletes biking in and out from Cathedral Camp around back into Cathedral Camp and then running to the finish line. So yes, there is both the female and male overall champions are returning for that one. Cranberry just passes through on the bike. That one's centered at Ted Williams Camp for that one. It's the same type of event, a little bit shorter, but that's kind of a gist of it. I'm open to any questions you want to ask about it. It's a phenomenal event that my organization's been running for 3 years. The event itself, this is the 19th year. This race is a direct competitor with Ironman brand, which everyone has heard about. So it's kind of fun to be a smaller, much smaller company corporation going up against a million corporation. So it's
Yeah, but you guys are doing a great job. 19 years. How have your numbers? Have they been steadily going up? Nice
well.
equal flow.
So we're kind of capped a little bit with parking, what we can do in and out of there. Obviously COVID changed a little bit of what athletes would do, but we maintain a pretty consistent number of athletes year over year. It's a hidden gem, and you talked about utilizing Lakeville roads, and I'm sure that as Lakeville residents, you notice year-round cycling and running traffic. What these races that I did not create, I just happen to be the new race director for it. I myself spend out hundreds of hours riding these roads throughout the year. So you guys really have a special community here that we're very, very lucky to be involved in business with. And watching the presentation that just happened before us, we actually had a food pantry partner for years that no longer can, the organization just of age and attrition with the members has gone off. So I wish I would have gotten a chance to talk to them, but I'll definitely be reaching out to them because it's organizations like that we love to find ways to donate to as well. So we're very thankful to be a part of the community and have the support from Chief Rose, from you guys, from a high portion of athletes are local residents as well. And I know some people might get frustrated with a little bit of traffic congestion on race day, and we're certainly aware of that, and we work with local public safety to make sure that it's a safe event for everyone. But just know that it's a very highly concentrated local event with athletes. I myself live not far from here, and most of our staff lives in the surrounding communities as well. So these races are a big deal to the endurance community, and they really show, they highlight Freetown and Lakeville and Middleborough, Rochester, Acushnet in a very good light. So you guys should be proud to have the community that you have.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, we are. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, do you guys ever venture into the state forest at all, as far as different different events?
We have. It's I don't know what the perception of what you're looking at the entire board of the race company. So we try to add a little bit. I know there have been other companies that have done some kind of off-road stuff. We work with Miles Standish State Forest for an event as well, but we're certainly open to just about anything that involves an endurance-minded outdoor event. So we're trying to add more events to make it more of a year-round thing. Once you add outdoor swimming, you kind of limit yourself to beginning of June to September. So that's but we're certainly looking for trail running and mountain bike type stuff. So we're open to.
Yeah, I think here in Freetown, I think we hear the Freetown 50 quite a bit, or NIMBA, New England Mountain Bike Association.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm sure we have contacts if you
Yeah.
help you guys connect and make it bigger.
Yeah, that'd be great. Those guys do a great job for sure. It's a special group of athletes. Those guys, the cycling abilities of people that can get on mountain bikes, they make road cyclists. They put them to shame pretty easily. Just their legs are so incredibly strong. It's crazy.
Have you guys ever utilized the pond for the swimming, the long pond? I know it might be.
So that's where the race is at Cathedral Camp. So they swim in and out of there. As far as public access, we don't really have any. We don't have any public access. And logistically, it's having a Cathedral Camp, having hundreds of athletes that show up. I mean, this race draws anywhere from 600 to 800 athletes year over year, and again with parking, that's really kind of our limit. The funeral home and the concrete place across and all, we can't really, we can't just park vehicles wherever we want to, and we have to keep the roads. So we're really limited to what we can fit on the property at Cathedral Camp. So that's the biggest logistical challenge, I guess. Not a headache, but a challenge for sure. So,
yeah. All right. Well, maybe something we can do to help in that. We have 6 months to figure it out and get you some more parking.
I think our biggest, what we really want to do is, I think it would be great for people that in the town, in the city or the town that don't understand what's going on, to let them experience what these athletes are doing. It's a big mission for me to get involved with, more local organizations like this in the Freetown, Lakeville area, and just show that we're really trying to be a part of the communities, that we're not just some big whatever corporation that comes in and sets up and makes money in the community. We genuinely care about being here, and we understand we're lucky to have the opportunity to run a business here. So
that's awesome. Well, we appreciate that. I mean, I guess for us, this is obviously going to be is being recorded and there's people who watch it. So maybe there'll be stuff from that. We can, we can post stuff on Facebook and that type of stuff, really, or our website, our town's website. We can try and do some stuff, and I'm not saying that it's going to generate you, a couple thousand spectators, but
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we make
get a couple there, then it's mission accomplished. So
yeah, and it's I care a lot about the endurance community, and I hesitate to just call myself an athlete, but as somebody who races long distance races themselves, it makes a big difference. And it's I think that if people more people understood what was happening on race day, and it wasn't just I'm going to be 5 minutes later to wherever I'm going. It's there's a real special thing that's happening down there that and the endurance community cares a lot about giving back to their communities as well. So I truly hope to continue to promote this as we continue to put this race on. We have no plans to move Patriot or Cranberry out of their locations.
One of my last questions for you: any adaptive riders in participating? Adaptive riders or runners, or anybody like a veteran, or anybody that needs a prosthetic or a wheelchair? Do you have a wide range of groups? Or
Yeah, we run for Patriot, since it's a longer race. Anybody who under 18 kind of has to have shown that they can do something. But we run athletes. We have an under 19 and under category where we had a student actually from Tabor down the street, and then all the way up to mid 80s. We've got paraplegic athletes. One of them locally, he lives in Plymouth, and he actually went to Kona in the World Championships as well. So there's a little bit of everything, and there's definitely veterans that run. We had last year. Not this year, but last year, we had a veteran that ran with the American flag the entire half marathon for fallen friends that he had lost, and raising money. So it's a special thing for sure. There's a little bit of everything.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear. Everyone deserves a chance to get out there and show everything they got.
Yeah, and we make every accommodation we can for any. If you want to show up and race, we're going to find a way for you to do it. So
That's awesome. Yeah. I'll ask my wife if I can.
Do you have a schedule sort of how of when you think the bikes will come through?
we absolutely do, and so the athletes hit the water around 7. Fastest athletes get onto the bike around 7:30. Slowest athletes, or not slowest, but it's just a line of progression. We put them in 2 to 3 at a time, so they get out of the water around 8:30. The bike can take anywhere. The faster people will be 2.5. So let's say 9 a.m., 7:30 to 11:30, roughly, give or take.
I'm just wondering if we had some sort of a preliminary timeline that when we
got
get
it.
closer, we could put on Facebook to say, hey, your bike's going to be coming by, get out and cheer them on.
Oh, absolutely. I've got that broken down.
Because I
can
know
send it to
that
you.
they always come through, but I never know what time they're coming
Sure.
from my mother's area. But I think if if that's something you're saying, well, if I heard you correctly, like that, it's helpful for them to have this, and it might help the community to get involved rather than be frustrated to get
Sure.
out and cheer on and be like, hey, come on. And what is it, 10, 15 minutes? I mean, they're all, like you say, they do come through progressively, but even if you just know that it's going to be this 2-hour time frame, they're going to be passing your area, and you want to get out and cheer them on.
We can take last year's results or last couple of years' results and kind of average out those times, so we can have our fastest athlete and the last one that comes out put a window and give our best estimates is when for sure. I use that on race day. I've got a color coded chart telling me where every athlete is, as somebody who's responsible for the safety of people in 3 different towns at the time. So for sure, I'd be happy to pass that along.
Just might be helpful if
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
might get people. Okay, the bike's going to come by at 9:50, starting at 9:15. I'll head out for half an hour and cheer them on.
Yeah, for sure. I think about this a lot in the off season. I'm sorry to keep kind of rambling on here, but I think about putting up signs further. So we start setting up a cathedral camp on Thursdays, and I was thinking, in some of the key intersections that putting up some sort of signs, just another heads up. I know that it's posted on the Facebook page, and I send out a mailer and everything, but there's a million things going on in everyone's lives. And I think just the more you see it, the more people that drive by and see everything starting to go up, they're like, okay, it's coming this soon. But some of those surrounding bigger intersections, they might not realize it. So
we do have some town billboards I just don't know if we can put something like that on it. I mean, I guess I would think we can, yeah. I just didn't want to open my mouth and say we could put something
Sure,
on
no.
there, so.
Like as a safety precaution.
See, that's what I was thinking
Bikes
is,
are coming.
yeah, bikes are coming and tell them when. And because then to the person who lives on the road, right, if they're trying to leave their house to go to, the grocery store or come home from the grocery store, they know and they understand they can be patient or plan accordingly. And then hopefully they can stay home and get out and cheer you on. So, I mean, I think anything we can do to publicize it, we can try and we'll try and do.
Great.
Well, I wonder how you guys map it. Do you, like, for instance, for now we have Deck the House, right? We have a competition in town so that people know where the houses are decorated. Or even Santa, we were able to track Santa around town. I wonder if there's a way to, I don't know if you guys geotag anybody. I know that's a bad word in some worlds, right? Is there a way to track the person and then so you can stay on, like, almost refresh your phone and say, hey, here comes Selectman Zager. Right around the corner,
We run. We do have live tracking for this event because of the scope of it. So we run. We put them on these like RFID type boxes that are put on. There's 5 of them on the bike, and then 4 or 5 on the run as well. They're put on stop signs, held on by magnets that are down low to the ground. So they pick up, and each athlete has a timing chip that's on their left ankle. So as they pass by, it tells you the progression of it. Now the ability to be able to I mean, there's public facing links that we can put for tracking, but I don't know how realistic it would be for people that weren't familiar with the sport to understand what was going on in that app. As far as, the last sagging athlete, we could do it and, but I don't, I only see that technology for this race once a year. So I'm not well enough versed in it to say that, you guys, I mean, you're welcome to have the links, but I don't know if it'll do exactly what you want it to do. Or not. I don't know if it's show. I could ask the timing company.
I think back to what you're saying, and Debbie said it originally. I think if we have a roundabout time at least too, because then to your point is they might look at that and get confused by it, and we don't want to be off-putting. Although I do think it's a good idea.
I'll pass it along for sure.
But I think if we know roughly times when they think that they're going to be passing by my house, then I can be out there and cheer them on, or. It's going to pass by my parents' house and I'm going to go over there and cheer them on, whatever it may be. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I'd be happy to pass that on for sure.
That's helpful.
Thank you.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we're good with that.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, with that, I entertain a motion to approve the request for the utilizing town roads for the Patriot Half Marathon on 6/14/2025 and the Cranberry Tri-Fest on 8/24/25.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you again. I do
Thank you so
appreciate your
much.
time. Thanks for all the words on what.
Yeah, if you have any after the fact, please. I mean, I'm easy to get in touch with. I think you're who yeah. So I respond right away. So just,
Perfect.
thank you guys.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Agenda item number 7, discussion and vote whether to approve the 2025 renewal certifications form for Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission. Wow. ABCC. I believe that this was just saying that this would be like if there was a non-renewal, and I think everyone was a renewal. So there's really nothing to report. So it's really that straightforward. So you have any questions?
No, it's like you said, it's pretty boilerplate.
Yeah. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the 2025 renewal certification form from the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, the ABCC.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 8, discussion and vote on first right of refusal for a portion of a property parcel ID 243-79-0 on Middleborough Road in East Freetown. On 81 Middleborough Road, East Freetown. So we did get a word back from all the responding parties in town, and no one has any use for it. We believe we have a gentleman here.
Yep. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name's Robert Naser, and I'm here as a representative for Anne Marie and Elton Ashley. I'm the contractor on the project. And so I was here to answer any questions if you had questions about the project, about the request, or anything else. I know that the Conservation Commission waived their rights to the property to take it, and I was at the planning board last week. They did the same, so. But I'm here to, if you had questions.
All right, no, thank you. Yeah, so really that's where we, we tend to go to. I mean, I don't want to ever speak for Selectman Lopes, but I don't see any use for us to do anything with it, to have the first, to take the first right of refusal. And then obviously those two others that you just spoke to are really, in this case, who we would, reach out to. And thank you by already saying that, so I don't see any reason to do anything with it.
Yeah. Likewise, the properties is there. It's going to get used. Looks like here you get looks like a solar.
That's correct.
Okay. And my concern is from the road, can you see the solar panels, or aesthetically, like when I look at aesthetics, can you, from the neighbor or driving by, what would I see?
Well, it's directly behind the Ashley's house, and the bog is down lower than the elevation of the roadway. I'm not exactly sure what the differential in the elevation is. And there is it does have a 6-foot fence that goes around the solar as well. It's usually, it's up to the landowner. I think the Ashleys are going to do like a black chain link fence. That's what they're going to do. And I did meet with the building commissioner out there at the site. And and we've already been with the Conservation Commission, filed our, and have our DEP file number and all the other approvals with the Conservation Commission. And also with Eversource. Of course, you need the interconnection permit from the utility company as well.
All right. Well, that's great. Because it's one of those things, right? You always hear solar parks, right? Essentially, what this is going to be, but you have to look at them. Like great for that they generate electricity, but not really the sexiest thing out there, right? As far as when it comes to,
I guess I would say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
So.
You're right on that. But I'm glad there's a plan in place that will mitigate that, and the neighbors are okay with it. So that makes me feel much better.
Yeah, I think we did talk about putting some sort of screening there. Actually, the landowner didn't want to put any screening. That was sort of something we went back and forth with the building commissioner on. He didn't want to put anything in there for whatever reason. He had his reasons. He didn't want to put. We were going to propose some, arborvitae or whatever, but he really didn't want it. So it's his property, and he's got to look at it mostly. So we just deferred to his, his preference.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear, is make sure that the
Yeah,
property
I was
owner.
gonna say that the thing is the property owner is the developer.
The abutter right
So-
there, and his son lives right next door. So, and across the street, it's commercial property. So, it's not. There isn't. You'd be a drive-by glance over and see it. Probably that would be the
you'd have to
ones who
look
would be
through
most
that.
impacted.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad the conversations had beforehand versus after the fact. When the neighbors start looking at it, they realize what's there, and then now they have to look out their window, and their view of the woods is now the view of panel possibly shining back at them. So I'm glad it's been thought of, and even though it's his land, I want to make sure he's protected as well.
Sure, absolutely. And, that's part of the permitting process, is certainly through conservation. All the abutters have been notified twice on this project, one for the resource delineation part of the project, and then the second time for the actual DEP file number. So everybody in the neighborhood has been notified for sure. Anybody would have a stake as far as a neighbor has been notified and has had an opportunity. And he hasn't heard from anybody on that one way, opposing it or.
It's excellent.
Yeah. All right. So, so with that hearing, I'm assuming you don't have any use.
No issues.
Okay. All right. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the first right of refusal portion for property ID 243-79-081 Middleborough Road in East Freetown.
Motion made.
Yep. Sorry.
The motion should be not to exercise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not Texas. I apologize. Yeah.
Just so
good
we are
catch.
clear on it.
Yes. So with that, I entertain a motion not to approve first right of refusal for portion of the property parcel ID 243-79-081 Middleborough Road.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Good catch.
Very good. Thank you.
you,
Good
sir.
evening.
Thank you, sir.
You as well.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, discussion and vote on whether to approve the 2025 wine and malt beverage liquor license renewals for Neon Beverage, LLC. So Neon Beverage has everything in, signed off accordingly. So I don't see any problem with it. It's just a renewal.
Yep.
So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the 2025 wine and malt beverage liquor license renewal for Neon Beverage.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 10, discussion and vote whether to approve the 2025 all alcoholic beverage liquor license renewal for K&E Liquors, Inc., DBA Crossroad Liquors. Same thing. Looks like everything's in correctly. So I don't have any issue with that. Good.
Good.
With that, I entertain a motion to approve the 2025 all alcoholic beverage liquor license renewal for K&E Liquors, Inc., DBA Crossroad Liquors.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 11. So this is just an acknowledgement for creating 2 emails, health1@freetownma.gov and health2@freetownma.gov for Gabrielle Almeida and Shaylin Rodriguez from the Health Collaborative. So it's just an acknowledgement. So it's just that, but I don't see any issues with that. Thank you. Agenda item number 12, discussion and vote whether to approve the following policies: motor vehicle tax refunds. That's A. B. Other post-employment benefits, OPEB liability, and then C, one-time revenues. Once again, just like every other one that we basically do, it's good to get these things in place, and all pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah.
So,
This is just cleaning house. Update.
so with that, I entertain a motion to approve the following policies. A through C is just read.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 13, discussion and vote whether to approve the following winter 2024-2025 snowplow contracts. A, Ronnie Freight, and B, John Bernier. Look through, it looks like everything's good. We're good?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the following winter 2024-2025 snowplow contracts for 2 parties just listed.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion, agenda item number 14, discussion and vote whether to approve the following Class 2 motor vehicles renewals for 2025. Basic Equipment, A, Basic Equipment, Inc., is basic used cars, truck, and equipment. B, DPF Enterprises, and C, Christopher J. Cabral, DBA CJ Auto Sales. Once again, same thing. It looks like everything's there, so I don't see any issues, concerns with that.
Nope. No issues here as well.
All right, so with that, I entertain a motion to approve the following Class 2 motor vehicle renewals for 2025. A through C is just read.
Motion made.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item number 15, discussion and vote whether to approve the design and engineering services scope of work for municipal fiber between the town of Freetown and Comtrack. I looked through this, and they seem to do this with a lot of towns. Like they have
They have a lot. This is for the municipal fiber grant
Yeah.
that we got because I tried to put it out to bid, but it's hard to put out to bid what you don't know what you're putting out to bid. So this kind of gets that scope of it down so it can go out to bid. And that's just step 1 before I have to go out to bid for it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it, and
No.
so.
Quite frankly, it's a project that
I know.
I'm
excited.
excited to have because the fiber is the future, and the only way to keep us there is by having it in place.
So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the design and engineering services scope of work for the municipal fiber between the town of Freetown and Comtrack.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 16, discussion and vote whether to accept a donation from the Lions Club to the Council on Aging in the amount of $500 to support the upcoming holiday. So you're not going to be a Scrooge, right?
Nope.
Me
I think we're good on this one.
so with that, I entertain a motion to accept the donation from the Lions Club to the Council on Aging in the amount of $500 to support the upcoming holiday.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you again to the Lions Club.
Absolutely.
That's very nice for you to make that donation. Agenda item number 17. Discussion and vote whether to approve the ambulance abatements and write-offs for November 2024 in the sum of $176,520.58. Sounds crazy, but it always is what it is. So,
There's always large numbers that comes with these.
yeah. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the ambulance abatements and write-offs for November 2024 in the sum of $176,520.58.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 18, discussion and vote whether to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and Lake Cam for PEG channel broadcasting effective 1/1/2025 and 12/31/2027. So this is for the portion that they're going to broadcast through cable, right? And it's funded through cable already, right? So this is at no cost to the town.
Yeah, this is the education channel.
Mhm.
So they film all of the sports and they put them up on the education channel in Freetown.
I have looked and looked and looked. I have not found this channel at all. I'd watch it, you know. So
9 and 93, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've asked for them like Channel 9 and 93. One is the government channel, which at some point put our meetings on there. That's MCAM. This other one is Lake Cam, is all these sports.
Mhm.
So,
So yeah, but it's, it works for me. Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's a great service. I just can never find it.
Yeah.
we'll look for it and
Yeah.
get, because I
Yeah.
know we've asked in the past.
All right. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and Lake Cam for PEG channel broadcasting effective 1/1/2025 and 12/31/2027.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 19, discussion and vote whether to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and NCAM for PEG channel broadcasting effective 1/1/2025 and 12/31/2027. So to Debbie's point, she already just said what it is. So, I don't know that there's anything else really to discuss on it. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and MCAM for PEG channel broadcasting effective 1/1/2025 through 12/31/2027.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 20, discussion vote to ratify the signature to Folsom Well and Pump proposal for the James White Library emergency well repair. So the well stopped working, so we had to, kind of bypass things and not put it out to procurement, and we signed off on it a couple weeks back. We got it done, so now we need to actually.
Pay the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was using emergency powers that are bestowed upon us. We decided to make this decision to fix the well. It's money well spent. So, did you already make the motion?
No.
Okay.
So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops.
Just to ratify.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I jumped up one. I apologize. With that, I entertain a motion to ratify the signature on the Folsom Well and Pump proposal for the James White Library emergency well repair.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 21, discussion and vote whether to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and Meridia Interactive Solutions for voting clickers for our town meetings. So this is for the 500 clickers that we had approved at town meeting. Was approved by town. I don't know if there's really anything else that I should add to it?
Yeah, we put it out to bid and this was the only ones that quoted this, so.
Well, that makes it tough.
Yeah. Now the only question I have for this one is we signed this, right? Does this mean we'll have them ready for our June meeting?
That was
Right.
what Cheryl.
I know that's very hard up in the air.
When Cheryl was asked, she said that they said that we should have them, right? Didn't she say that?
The RFP went out saying that it was
Yeah.
going to be, our goal was to do it for June 2025. However, if they could not guarantee that, it would, the October one was fine. But I believe they said they would do it for June.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So yeah. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve the agreement between Town of Freetown and Meridia Interactive Solutions for voting clickers for town meetings.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Agenda item number 22, discussion vote on topics to discuss with the Lakeville Board of Selectmen meeting on 1/6/2025.
All right.
This, this conversation, stemmed from having conversations in the past about talking about the district school committee agreement. So Lakeville has a new town administrator. Him and I, didn't really speak, but we emailed, and he's like, well, what topics do they want to speak about? I mean, the only one that I really know of is the school committee, the district agreement, and possibly the audit for the school. But I figured I'd put it out here, and just in case it was something I missed, I don't know that there's anything else that we really do jointly with Lakeville other than our school. It's a big deal.
Well, my 2 cents is this: we share Lakeville, Freetown and Lakeville share quite a bit of things, right? With the largest being the school district. So that's definitely part of the conversation to have with them. I also think anything to do with, like for instance, we have a bridge that's going to be going down Chase Road. Do they need to know about it? So we effectively engage in communication with them to the extent that we're all on the same step, right? For instance, like an MOA in a sense, to make sure that anything that's related between Freetown and Lakeville, like whether it's the district, the pond, roads, construction projects, anything that both towns would need to be made aware in order to make sure it flows smoothly, right? If we shut down one of our exits, is it going to be an increase in their exits? So they can anticipate new traffic pattern or something. Of course, the district agreement is one of them for the school. I started thinking about things like, what if we combine their numbers and our numbers as 2 towns for insurance purposes? Will that reduce insurance purposes down the road? Those are the things that I want to start working with and strengthening with the Lakeville Select Board, just like our finance committees are. Right now, they're talking to each other and making sure that they're bouncing ideas. We want to do the same thing.
I think you just looking for like agenda items, you know what I mean? So, I know, again, we had talked about the school district agreement. So I can certainly put that there. Obviously, whatever is going to affect them, I do try to communicate with them. I'm just not sure. So I think he's just looking for, like, what do we put on the agenda, right? As a joint meeting of 2 Board of Selectmen, which is a big deal, right? To get the Freetown and Lakeville together. So there may be other things you want to talk about. I just have to draft the language as such. I mean, it can be anything that affects either town. I don't know that there is.
I was going to say, is there a way to put it as is there any legal way to put a vague part? Because you know what's going to happen is right now you're coming up with ideas, but then that might spawn into something else. And I guess, is there a way to put it that anything that might effectively might go against both towns, right? Like, okay, all of a sudden we start thinking about these are 2 things that would go jointly together. One of my things that I've always brought up, and I think that they do a good job, but I always, especially in today's day and age, always worry about is public safety, right? And the school safety. And right now we have, almost all the schools are in Lakeville on this one campus. So one of the things that we've talked about in the past is making sure that there's very clear language between Freetown and Lakeville and how we're responding and how they're calling in people. And that might be at the school level and how it's effectuated. I don't know. But, I just think that the more bodies that we can get there, in a timely manner. We're two small
So
towns, right?
public
So
safety
public safety. So
regarding the
that's really
schools.
my,
Um,
away from what he just said, public safety is my
Oh,
only other thing that I
maybe
can
the
think of.
SROs, right, because there's been talk about putting Freetown, yeah, I mean, I
Right.
don't know that, I don't know. the
Well, it's
logistics
part of the
it.
discussion, right? So to Jared's point and to yours as well, Debbie, we are part of this like umbrella agreement through the state, right? We're part like SIMLAC and everything else. So we have responding agencies that would respond to any situation. But to Jared's point, I think creating our own MOU between both towns as far as response to the schools, because we, in theory, if we're taking off from department to department, we're going to get there first, right? But it's in Lakeville, right? So that turns into who's in charge when something happens, right? And I want to, although we have a pretty good, clear understanding, I want to make sure that's in writing somewhere, so that way it's smooth, it's effective. We're not
Yeah, and I
losing
think
time.
those things are probably already determined, but
Yeah.
I understand.
but
So
it's a
something
conversation to
I
have.
would just say like, anything that impacts the towns jointly, and I can put example, public safety of the schools, SRO officers, and just kind of leave it, again, Assawamsett Pond is a good one.
Yeah,
because
Assawamsett as well, definitely.
we both, and the boat ramp is almost kind of.
Yeah,
it's in
Long Pond,
Freetown,
Long
but,
Pond, yeah.
it affects, and I can just put that there, so I can send that over.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do it Zoom, so that we can then have our meeting after the joint meeting, because we're gonna have things that need to be taken care of, and this is the next meeting that we have, is this joint meeting.
Yeah.
So I know that, might be a good time to start looking at that district agreement to see what you want to, our goal is to sort of hash out some points, and then obviously bring the school committee in on a future conversation.
Well, absolutely. Out
I
there.
think it was beneficial for the towns maybe to each hash out anything that they might want to first, and then we have to have, meetings with the school committee.
So you said via Zoom for the meeting, but do we try and have them offer for them to come here first? And if they say no, then have it by Zoom and have us here, just so that way we have.
Luann's been working on that with her counterpart in Lakeville.
They wanted to host and record, and then you had asked about the Zoom option, and I haven't gotten an answer on that yet. They're looking to see like what
I
the
mean,
agenda
we can
topics are.
put,
and
do we
whatnot.
put our meeting, do we do our meeting there and then we can go into recess and then come here and do it? I don't know if it makes sense. I'm just trying to think if, because sometimes I think being face to face with people, I prefer versus sitting on a computer. I'm a better visual person, so I would think. I'm sorry, I don't want to make it harder on you guys, because I know your jobs can already be
I don't
complicated.
know what our agenda looks like yet, because it's still early, like how many things we might have on that date.
At the moment, it's pretty light.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, so I mean,
those
obviously we
days.
can do it as late as
stay that
possible, and yeah, but then, we can always
So,
come back here or whatever. I just want to be somewhere where everyone knows. And then here's my only other issue is, are we going to draw, I don't know what they're going to have for capacity. Do we think we're going to have to worry about that? That's the only
so.
other
I
issue
can
I have.
ask them. I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean,
I think maybe the school committee, because they know that that's gonna be one of the issues, but other than that, I think if you put public safety, that might draw in some of the, the chiefs, but I do think that the chiefs of police
Mhm.
and the fire chiefs have their working orders already. I think they're probably well oiled, and we just need them to tell us. So I think they're already probably in
yeah,
place.
and that's, I don't, please, no, I don't want anyone that's listening to take that wrong. That's one thing that in today's day and age has always concerned me, right? I'm a
Especially
father
after
with
today's,
2 daughters in the school and Carlos, several sons in the school, right? Like,
That's right.
so it's just, it's unfortunate, but that's where my head goes to, and I want to make sure that we have, concrete stuff in.
I guess, part to that, the training of the
Mhm.
joint teams is probably the issue, right?
Mhm.
More than they know who's in charge, and they know,
Yeah.
but how do we effectuate them to train jointly is probably a good conversation to have.
Right.
I actually agree with that more so, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Training is always the hardest thing, right?
Well, it's just a cost.
And it's a cost issue.
Right.
It's very
Costly,
expensive,
right?
but
Right. So if we're going to have 2 major agencies going at it, which would be Freetown, Lakeville, in case of an emergency, then I want to make sure that they understand what their roles are, and in training is the majority of that, absolutely. And if we add anything to the list as well, you can throw sports in there. I know some sports leagues are concerned of differences between Freetown and Lakeville. Maybe there's a way to kind of make it, I don't know. It's just a discussion.
I just don't want to muck you too much into
Yeah.
it. And I do think, I mean, I agree with you. I guess because they're very different in how they go to,
Yeah.
no pun intended, how they go to bat versus how we do.
Right.
Right. So, I just don't, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I would rather hyper focus on what we want to accomplish rather than bringing it out. But I think this is a good stepping stone, right, where we can kind of open up our dialogue a little bit more with them. And then, if we have to do this at a future meeting, then that's what we do.
Probably should do it at least every 6 months, and maybe just alternate location, like we go there and then they come here.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's,
Even just to have any concerns.
Right. Well, that's exactly the premise of this whole thing is to FaceTime with our counterparts from across the pond, right? For all intents and purposes, to make sure that we're all on the same page and marching to the same beat, right? Which is to the betterment of both communities. The best way to do that is sometimes just together, right? Especially since we're so closely related with everything from schools to sports and everything else. Might as well get their opinion on things as well. So
I'll do my best to broaden the scope and get it over
So,
to.
so do you want me to call into the vote all the different things that we just discussed?
You can just, talk about the school district agreement, ponds, public safety training, and then any other topic that might impact both towns. How about that? I think that's really as much as I'm gonna be able to do.
Okay. All right. So, with that, I entertain a motion to discuss the following topics with the Lakeville Board of Selectmen meeting at their meeting on 1/6/2025. That would be the district agreement, use of the ponds, public safety training, and any other topic that might affect both towns.
motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think that's good.
Thank you. I was talking about it with you and not actively writing it, so then I was nervous that I was going to miss something, so thank you. So, agenda item number 23, discussion and vote whether to accept a donation to the Freetown Public Library in the amount of $300. So,
That's great.
yeah.
Absolutely. Motion made.
I'll make. So with that, I entertain a motion to accept the donation to the Freetown Public Library in the amount of $300.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 24, discussion and vote on closing the public libraries early on 12/24/2024. So that's
Yeah, they had said that they were all set for the last, when we were doing all the other buildings, but then we had a conversation. So they're going to close the James White Library on December 24th at 4 p.m. They're normally, I think, open till 7, but it's Christmas Eve. So the Board of Trustees has voted for that. I'm just following up to ratify that vote with the Board of Selectmen that the libraries will be closed at 4 p.m. Town Hall's closed at 3, but the libraries will be closed at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve day.
I think that's more than fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, I entertain a motion to close the public libraries early at 4 p.m. on 12/24/2024.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 25, discussion, vote whether to hire a separate town council when our town council has a conflict of interest. So this is interesting because we have a great town council, but when a great town council comes, a lot of other people who like to use town council. We've had issues along the way where it becomes a conflict of interest where they might represent us as well as another, say, city or town. And if we have an issue with said city or town, then, it really puts them in a predicament as well as us. So it really does make sense. And I don't know how you want to add to that, Debbie, because you're the
Yeah,
one
I
with the
mean,
legal.
it's just they can't, so if I wanna sue a town that they represent, or even have a negotiation, they're conflicted, right? Because they represent us and the other town, and this happens quite frequently because they represent a lot of local towns, and so if a situation's arising that isn't yet at the legal level, but I foresee it heading that way. So I need this to go out and do some research and get a secondary or special counsel for these particular issues, and this isn't like this issue that's arising is not the first time this has come up. So I just need permission to do that. And again, I don't want that, I don't want them to be in the middle, because they know both towns' secrets, right? Like they know our inner workings. So it's not to our benefit if there is something that's going on with another municipality.
And then that same municipality wouldn't be able to use them either. So then it's
Right.
interesting.
So, I
So
mean,
they're going to
they
have to
can't
find
represent
someone. So
you know, they're gonna have to go get their own counsel too, so it's just the nature of the beast. By very law, they can't, you know, they can't represent, both sides, so.
So yeah. So I mean, I don't see a problem with it. Do we have a list of
That's my question.
available?
I'm gonna have to go and do some research on, you know, it's probably gonna be more spearheaded towards the topic that I'm working on, you know, that I'm anticipating. Obviously in Hanson, I worked with a municipal law firm, JP Talaman. So they're also a municipal firm that handles a lot of issues, but it's different than KP Law, which is our current one. So I would say that that's one other one, or I can just find somebody that particularly works in the area that I'm anticipating needing them.
Yeah, I guess what I lean towards is you know, us, if you have any, you know, you know people in the field and you know you've worked with people, so I just want to make sure, you know, we've been fortunate with KP Law. They're good, right? We want to make sure that if we hire someone, that we hire someone that can really represent us and do us the justice, so that way, you know, when our, you know, us or our residents are having
It's our
issues.
money, no.
So yeah,
I'll
so
work on that. That'll probably come before you again, like in other words, once I hash out some things, or if I can't, then you might want to interview them and then hire, you know what I mean? But I just first needed to get this to be able to start that process.
yeah, and I guess because at this point you have ideas that you think you might need them for, is if you have someone in mind that might be a little better when it comes to this, you know, then maybe that would be where we would lean towards. So
Yep, I'll let you know when like I said, this is new, so hopefully it doesn't go this way, but you never know, and I need to know. I need to make sure I have a plan.
No, absolutely. This makes Freetown proactive in the fact that in the event something does happen in the future, we're protected. It's the contract's in the draw. We can just pull it out and say, hey, we have to execute this contract for whatever reason it is, whatever conflict may come upon us, that we make sure we're protected. So having another counsel makes nothing but sense. So
all right, so I appreciate it. So with that, I entertain a motion to approve hiring a separate town council when our town council has a conflict of interest.
motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now over to you, Selectman.
All right. Thank you. All right. Personnel Board, item agenda 26 and 27 are two acknowledgements. Number 26 is acknowledge the resignation of Megan Corrigan from the Cultural Council effective 12/10/2024. Thank you, Megan, for everything you've done with the Cultural Council. You're welcome back anytime. All right. And as well as number 27, acknowledge the resignation of Nicole de Morinville as Senior Clerk effective 12/20/2024. Again, thank you, Nicole, for everything you've done for the town of Freetown, and we wish you the best. Item agenda 28, discussion and vote whether to approve the following appointments.
Can I interrupt you?
Of course, yes.
Number A, can you just pass over that one? And I'm sorry I didn't tell you that.
No worries. Absolutely.
Meeting.
All right, discussion, number 28, discussion and vote whether to approve the following appointments. B, Frank Ashley III to Agricultural Commission effective 12/17/2024 through 6/30/2025. C, Rachel Petty as Recording Clerk for ZBA, Conservation and Planning effective 12/17/2024 through 6/30/2025. Selectmen, any concerns or
No.
questions?
So,
All right.
well, thank you.
I entertain the motion to approve The appointments B and C, Frank Ashley and Rachel Petty, to their appointed positions, effective both dates of 12/17/2024 through 6/30/2025.
Motion made.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Item agenda 29. Discussion and vote whether to approve the following changes of status. A. Patrick Lee. He's moving from active sergeant to patrolman, detective 5-2 assignment, effective 12/2/2024 through 6/30/2025. B. Christopher Medeiros, moving from patrolman, detective 5-2 assignment to patrolman 5-2 assignment, effective 12/9/2024 through 6/30/2025. All right. Sounds like they're just moving some things around and getting them in the right positions. All right. Any questions, concerns?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
I entertain the motion to approve the appointments for Patrick Lee and Christopher Medeiros as listed as A and B of this agenda item.
Motion made.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Selectman Lopes, that was
That's right.
easy today. Well, I like it.
I'll take
All
it.
right. So, agenda item number 30. This is update on the move from the town hall annex for the building and board of health offices.
Yeah,
Debbie?
so they officially moved out today. They're at 69 South Main Street. I mean, they're a little rough around the edges right now, so hoping everybody can be a little patient while they get up and running. But it is done, and I'd say it's 85% there. So over the next few days, they should be able to put the office back together, and everybody, you know, there shouldn't be any issues with getting permits or whatever you need. So it's exciting. It's strange. It's very strange to see the emptiness in the second floor, but I'm looking forward to now renovating those offices and taking a look at what that looks like for the town. So that's done. And then item 31, the water issue, the City of New Bedford water issue at 23 County Road. So the part of the town, County Road in Freetown, has water service coming in from the City of New Bedford. They have since the early 1900s, I believe. They pay their water bill to the City of New Bedford, and the town of Freetown has had nothing to do with those lines, whether they are the main, the laterals going into the houses. The town of Freetown has not had anything to do with it. The customers buy from New Bedford, pay New Bedford, and New Bedford, as far as I know, has serviced it because we have never serviced those lines. Now we have a resident that has a water break in the road, I believe water break in the road, and New Bedford won't fix it and is telling us to fix it, and we can't fix it. It's not our infrastructure. We didn't put it in. We don't own it. So they have said that, well, they're not gonna go in, and they will fix it if we agree to pay for it. I'll be on the hook if the homeowner doesn't pay. And if we agree to take over the line after the repair, I'm not sure what's going on. This is very new. Since this one happened about a week ago, they've sent 3 more customers to us telling that needed shut-offs to do repairs. They have said that the Freetown has to shut them off. We don't touch their infrastructure. We don't own their infrastructure. We have never done shut-offs on their infrastructure. So this is a new phenomenon. I'm not sure what is going on. We do have a meeting scheduled tomorrow to have some conversation about how to move forward. I've been very adamant with them and very direct in that we're not going to touch your infrastructure. I've heard this on other, even within the town. I've heard that they're all of a sudden all hands off on any laterals, that they're not touching them even for their residents, but that's not on us. So this is going to become a problem. I have a lot of concerns for those 110 customers, and they're not anywhere near where our water lines come in from the City of New Bedford. So we can't help them. Like, we can't just say, okay, tap into Freetown's water line, we'll take over and just abandon that. They're not near us. We're not close to where their water runs. So I think one of the directives I'm going to have, of course, with the water and sewer commissioners, which are all over this, but I wanted the selectmen to be apprised of what's going on, because this is going to turn into something bigger, I think, is that we're going to probably try to send out letters to the 110 customers, putting them on notice that, listen, we're sorry, but we can't touch those water lines. We don't own them. And if you have an issue, you're going to have to hire a private contractor. And I hate to say that to the customers, the homeowners, but I think in reality, that's where we're at, and I just feel, this is totally out of the blue. We had no warning. It's pause for great cause. I'm gonna just say that, and I don't know what the trigger is, why this is happening. I think my thought process, I think I kind of know why they're doing this, but I don't know for sure, and hopefully when we have some meetings moving forward, we'll have more information. I don't know, I know that these people might be here that's having this situation, so, I don't know if you,
Yeah,
Chair, you want them to
if there's
speak.
anything you want to say, sir, either one of you have anything to say, you know, you can say, you just have to state your name for the record, and that's all, and then, you know.
Well, sure. Sure. My name's Ian Levesque. I'm the resident at 23 County Road. As of tomorrow, we will have no usable water. Given that there is a leak in the ground, I don't know, any of you health professionals by trade in the past? No.
Health professionals?
Yes.
No.
No. You have, ground flora runoff. So I can't assume that the water's clean, even though I have some water pressure in the home. So I cannot use it. I have a 4-year-old in the home. Makes it very frustrating. I'm a member at the gym down the road, so I'm able to take a shower. But for my wife and my son, they have to go to a friend's house, parents' house, which we're very fortunate to have. Not everybody has that luxury. The big thing is New Bedford's DPI, which I agree with them being the ones that service those lines. I'm quite frustrated that they're trying to put you on the hook. Since 2 weeks tomorrow, they haven't contacted me to try and replace water not provided, even though I paid them a bill. I've been very fortunate with the Freetown Fire Department. I've been over there. I've filled up a couple 5-gallon jugs just so I have something so I can cook and clean around my home, use the bathroom. So I've been very fortunate on that regard. But as a nurse, if I have a patient that says, I don't have running water in the home, that's considered an unsafe discharge. And I have to get social work and other bodies of people involved. So the fact that New Bedford's trying to, allow this situation to keep going forward in the manner that it is, and not stepping up and saying, we're going to fix the problem and then figure out where the money's coming from. I mean, where Emerald's Automotive is on Route 18? The leak, it's going into his property. It's right on the breakdown lane on the other side. It's nowhere near my property. So if it's not the main, it's very shortly thereafter. And reading their DPI handbook, I'm only responsible from my curb stop to my property. Which, with speaking with Chandler from the water department, who was very nice to give me a history on Freetown's water department and try and make a lot more sense of this, as New Bedford's DPI failed to do so. He believes that is also the case. So the fact that hiring a private contractor to get this water line fixed when it's clearly written I shouldn't be responsible for it is very frustrating. So that's why I showed up today, to try and, make my voice heard in the matter. And again, I understand that it might not be your responsibility, but just to get this in a public forum. And I'm very happy to hear that you're going to have a meeting with them tomorrow, because, quite frankly, I'm upset. I might not visibly show it right now, but I'm quite upset. I work with a lot of people daily, and quite frankly, I've told the story, and they're livid. These are people that are also residents of New Bedford. We service a lot of people in the New Bedford area, and they're quite upset. I tried to get news outlets on this, and I guess I'm not a good enough story for them. But that's kind of where we're at. It's just the fact that, especially having a child, if it was just me and my wife, we'd figure it out. But having a child in the home, that elevates things a little bit, especially when he's special needs. He's nonverbal. He's a student over here at the Freetown Elementary School. And, this community has done me a lot of good, and I'm upset to see that another community is trying to bring, you know, hardship to not only myself, but the community that I live in.
Yeah.
Kind of where I'm at.
No,
So you're not the only one now. There's
Yeah.
4 more after you this last week.
And the
that-
fact that you mentioned that is even more, I mean, it kind of brings to light, be like, okay, so it's not just me,
Nope.
but I mean, it doesn't make it,
It
you know,
doesn't
any
help
less
your
frustrating, of
situation, but
course.
clearly something's changed, right?
Without notice is also an issue.
it's water. It's, you know, it shouldn't be something you're worried about. Like you said, you've been, you know, paying your bill. If you didn't pay your bill,
Right.
they'd be shutting you off, and you know, as we would, right? And any time, I mean, you're gonna, you know, so it is frustrating. So I am glad to hear, you know, I have spoken with a couple of the people in the water department, and they, trust me when I tell you, they, as you, I'm sure you're well aware, they're, you know, they're taking this very seriously. So we have Debbie on the side of us over here who smiles, but she can be fierce. So in a good way. So she'll be in that meeting for us, you know, being that voice of reason tomorrow, which I know doesn't fix your problem today, but
I know.
and I'm glad that you came in to, you know, kind of speak your piece and tell us really the frustrations that you're having. Because to your point is, it's more of a public forum because you're not, you know, when you're talking to people behind the scenes, it's just that, it's behind the scenes. So
I mean, and I've spoken out and said too, if it were proven to be on my end of things, like if I had a well and something broke, I'm gonna fix it. If it's on my end of the time, it would have been done 2 weeks ago. I would have hired a contractor and they would have been out there and finished with it. But standing on principle, the fact that it wasn't assessed properly and they're just assuming that I'm gonna be liable for, you know, and like you offered, you know, water from the food pantry, which I greatly appreciate. I'm going to leave that to those that are more in need. But when it comes to, you know, damages like that, I might not have that sort of capital just to expend, as I'm sure a smaller town might not have either. So yeah, again, I'm very frustrated with New Bedford. I'm not frustrated with Freetown.
I think one of the issues with fixing it too is that Bedford has pretty much said, if we touch it, we own it. So it's as soon as we do any work on it, we're going to assume the liability now for 110 customers and all of the lines that go with it, and that's sort of the problem. And so, yeah, I'm not sure, like I said, what triggered this, but clearly something did, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
I just find it funny how I can pay them a bill, but like if you fix it, like if I continue to pay that bill, you're not seeing that money.
No, we have never seen the money, and that's part of the thing. You know, we collect money from our customers, and then we have the reserves to do repairs. So I don't know. I will keep you informed as I get more information, but I don't know that it's going to change anytime soon in terms of Lakeville's position. New Bedford's position and Freetown's position. So unfortunately, you're sort of caught in that crosshairs. But like I said, the numbers are mounting in terms of what's going on, and other issues are not necessarily broken lines, but where they just need the water line shut off to do repairs, and that nobody will shut the water off. So there's just basic stuff, you know, that's going on.
What time is this meeting tomorrow, Debbie?
Well, I'm sorry.
What time is this meeting with the water commissioners? I was trying to look in the calendar.
Is it 9:30? I think it's 9:30.
So, sir, I'm sorry this is happening to you. Right? This is unacceptable at different levels. I can guarantee you one thing: tomorrow we're going to get more answers. Right? What those answers are, we just don't know yet. Like Jared, myself, I have also spoken with the water commissioners and everything else, and I take this very seriously. To me, water is a basic right. It should be a basic right to everybody. The fact that this has been 2 weeks now and we have no answers yet, this is not only unacceptable, it tends to fire me up. All right. But cooler heads prevail. Let's see what they have to say tomorrow and figure out what the hell is going on and figure that out. Sorry for cursing. But I'm frustrated for you. I'm fired up right now.
I'm trying to hold back myself.
Yeah, no, I
thank you.
It comes through as you're being very respectful, and we appreciate that. At the same time, I'm PO'd myself, and as a father, that's just unacceptable. Again, as a human, it's unacceptable, and we'll get to the next step and see what that is, and it's got to get fixed no matter what.
As I'm sure you can circle back to, we just had a discussion about having separate counsel, right? So we're trying, I say we, Debbie is trying to get out ahead of it, that if we have to get to that point, that we have someone else in place, right? Because that's unfortunately what needs to happen, right? We're trying to stay one step ahead, and that's Debbie now trying to stay one step ahead. So we'll do whatever. I will promise you, we will do whatever we can within our restrictions that makes sense, right? To Debbie's point, if we were to go out there and fix that now, and then we would be spending millions of dollars because they would want us to take over that whole line, and we just, I wish we did, but we don't have it, right? So I can't offer that up. I wish we had that endless pot of money where we would say, yeah, no big deal, let's replace it all. But unfortunately, that's not the case, and we have to be fiscally responsible with our money that we do have. So, but just know that, to Selectman Lopes's point, that this is, we all find it pretty unacceptable, and hope that some resolution can be made for you. So,
and aside from the fact of taking me out of the equation, we're in the winter time now with a leak on a public road. I did contact the Department of Transportation, giving that it's a state road, and I did elevate it, and I said, listen, it's freezing over. This road's freezing over. I've heard a couple cars swerve out there. In the middle of the night, they're not going to see it. And it's 40, 45 mile an hour speed limit over there. People go faster. That can be a major accident. It's waiting. Like it can happen at any point. Like once that temperature gets low enough and that freezes, not good. Not good. It takes up the entire travel lane at this point. So
I will reach out to Mass DOT as well.
Yeah, I did. They did email me back, and they did send it over to their District 5. If you need
District 5
to.
is our district,
Okay.
yeah.
And they did mention, they said to New Bedford how they need to go out and service that. Maybe something for you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Hang in there. I know it's not the answer you want, right? I
Understandable.
need more answers for tomorrow, and we'll put the full weight of our time if we have to, as much as possible, right? Because it is a tricky situation, and we've had discussion over the years as far as the lines and everything else, and what's in them and what's not in them, and who controls them, who pays for what. Just unfathomable that we are talking about this, and no one's taking responsibility for it. Right. So they will. Someone will. All right, sir.
I appreciate your time.
No,
Absolutely. Thanks for letting us know.
all right. So I think we should.
I think that's it. I just have one more thing I wanted to shout out. I wanted to thank Mr. Robert Weaver and his sister Johanna Wilson for letting us use their lot of land to effectively take down 4 South Main Street, which we know came down this week because it was condemned and it was a liability to the town. It was uninsurable, and it's been condemned for a few years. Without their assistance, which they let us use it for free. There was no money exchange, and they signed an agreement to allow us to use it. So, without that use of that lot, it would have been much more expensive, much more difficult. It would have caused a lot more disruption to traffic and to the town. So, I've personally thanked him. I know we've all thanked him. He was out on site, but I just wanted to shout out to him because he didn't need to do that. He didn't need to let us use that lot, Mr. Weaver and his sister. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that is a good call out. I mean, what originally was told to be 3 days was done in less than a day with very little impeding of the traffic. So,
Yeah, a little too fast. It was a little too fast for me. No, you're absolutely correct. I think utilizing that lot, there was no way it went that smoothly, right? I'm sure there was little things here and there that occurred throughout the day, but nothing that they couldn't handle. They came in with the right equipment, As soon as I have the video of the chimney dropping, you can hear it just drop right through both floors. Second floor, first floor, right into the basement. Disturbed whatever was living down there. Right? So great job on everybody that was there, right? It went smooth. I know residents were concerned about traffic and impact or floating debris here and there. None of that occurred. It was pretty smooth. The hazmat folks were out there with their hoses and gear. It went as smooth can go for such a, not last minute because we know it was coming, but as far as with the rain and the weather and everything else, they showed up ready to go. And I was very happy to see that.
And the only other last little call up before I get to signatures, I just wanted to take the time to thank the Freetown firefighters for driving around with Santa Claus this week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know, all sorts of positive stuff online, and
Great. That's
Yeah.
fun when you have little kids.
I was loving it. I got out of I was coming to the end of my road. I heard him coming, so I stopped and I waited for him to wave to him. So, you know,
Town certainly loves it.
yeah, no, and that's the thing is you hear so much positive stuff. So I know that they hear it, but I just wanted to
Yeah,
drive it home
that's
one more
awesome.
time to say thank you guys because I really do appreciate it.
So I made the mistake of telling my kids to start at 8 o'clock. Right. So of course you can track Santa and the Asona in East Freetown as well. So they kept telling me, like, Dad, they're still at the Asona Bay Shores. Why are they still at Asona Bay Shores? I was like, buddy, there's a lot of houses there. They have to go slow.
Yeah.
So I think they got us to around 9:45, 10 o'clock, and we're out there with decorations, and kids loved it. So thank you, fire department, and all the Santas and elves that were out there.
I guess what we're doing, thank you, is thank the Cultural Council for Lights On, right?
That's right, the lights as well.
Lights On. That was great, and the police for collecting the
Toys for
gifts
Tots,
there.
yeah.
So the Toys for Tots, so everybody's doing their little part, but that's what makes Freetown, right? Because everybody does what they can do, and it just makes it such a nice community. So yeah, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people pulling, making our holidays as good as they can possibly be. So
Yeah.
that's it. Happy holidays. I'm not going to see you guys probably.
Yeah, I was just gonna say before
after Christmas.
we sign off, I need to make sure I wish everyone happy holidays because
I can't even believe it. It's going to be after the new year before we meet again.
I'm gonna get going with that Christmas shopping I hear about.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm not gonna lie. My big gift from my wife showed up in the mail today, and I was getting very worried about it because it kept saying and it was changing, and
Oh, geez, yeah.
so
My main gift from my wife, they gave me a 3 to 5 week delivery period yesterday. I'll send her going, oh,
Fantastic.
I'm like, thank you so
Nailed it.
much.
Did she come home today? Did she?
I'm gonna print it out.
Yeah, put it in an envelope.
Yep, put it in a huge box, make her unwrap it for a picture. Stuff that husbands do.
ABCC form.
Wait, dude. I can sign this top line up here. That one. We get single copy.
Yep.
All right, thank you. You.
Just for reference, the meeting tomorrow morning is executive session, so just so it's not open to the public.
Okay.
Certainly you, Carlos, can jump on, but it's not open to the public, so I just don't want anybody to show up and expect to be heard because it's not open to the public.
That's fine. It's just make sure the residents are up to date as we know any new information that they need to know. So that way, what we know, you know right away.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Did you maybe want an email? If you can email me if you have any updates,
As soon as I have an update, I definitely will email you.
please. Just in case I need to get my own counsel involved. Don't worry, you're not sorry.
Hey, sir, we joke, but at the end of the day, take care of yourself and your family and make sure that you're protected. So absolutely.
You don't mind as well shake your hand real quick. guys?
No, absolutely. Come on down. Carlos Lopes.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're fighting for you. Don't worry.
I'll keep working
Nice to
on
meet you
this.
as well. We spoke on the phone as well.
Thank
Good night,
you.
y'all. Stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
who's gonna be him, but I'll just update that.
Sign above it.
It's just here.
Hopefully Trevor gets better before the holidays with the little guy.
I hope so. It's a week here. We get a week.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. He's young enough, you can postpone Christmas and then if they
Never know. This is just the notary, this is you.
Sorry.
No problem. This is just you.
I'm taking the majority of next week off.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that was 2 pages.
Yes, if it had a tab on it, it got signed.
First on Friday.
I get a hold of him. I'm not expecting anything.
No, it's a light week. No one really wants to work. All right. So
You?
everything else good? You good, sir?
Yeah, I'm also, I was just here for agenda 27
Okay.
for the Ag Commission.
Okay.
I just wanted to, anything else, any questions, or you need anything further from me?
Mm-hmm. No, I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's it.
yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure you weren't waiting for something else because if we have.
So the question is, since I'm the only one on the Ag Commission, I'm assuming it's going to take 3 before we can officially do anything?
Did you look up the
Or-
draft? I didn't look it up.
I did, and I wanna say it's 3.
Mhm.
that were on it. We have to recruit other people.
So we have to have a minimum of 3.
I believe that's what it is. We can confirm we do that.
The board is for 5, but
3 per-
3 for the minimum.
Because of your quorum.
So we have a quorum.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you have anyone else that you can recruit into your mission?
There's a few in town.
Mhm.
It'll take some talking, but
Mhm.
if I can get 2 others on it, we should at least have some kind of representation
Mhm.
for the future. So
All right, I appreciate that.
I have a few in mind. I'll talk to them. I know it's been since 2018 when it was formed.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going on 6 years and nobody has stepped up yet, which is,
Well, so thank you.
well, I'm retired now, so now I have time to dedicate.
Rally this-
Good for you.
Someday. Someday.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.